Hi there! In this video, I'm going to share 7 things you absolutely need to stop doing if you want to be successful. If we haven't met yet, my name is Eden. I spent 8 years as a single parent, and during that time, I went from barely scraping by to becoming a confident mom, a self-made millionaire, and eventually achieving financial freedom, all while learning how to step into my full potential. Along the way, I found that success isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you let go of. So today, I'm sharing the 7 things I gave up that made the biggest difference in my journey. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on more videos like this. Alright, let's dive into the first one. Stop expecting fairness. Life isn't designed to be fair. Some people get opportunities handed to them. Others run into obstacles. If you keep focusing on what's fair, you will end up resentful instead of resourceful. When my marriage ended 9 years ago, I didn't have the option to stop. At that time, I was in an HR master's program. Classes were hard and I had a 2-year-old to care for, and I still had to put food on the table. I didn't even have time to feel bad or cry. Every minute counted, and I had to keep moving forward. My classmates could give 100% to their schoolwork, to chase a higher GPA, to go to job interviews, job fairs, even enjoying parties. I didn't have that luxury. My priority was survival. I had to figure out how to make things work first. I found childcare support through the university so I could focus on classes. I also applied for food benefits, and when things became too overwhelming for me, I took a 6-month leave of absence. During that time, I went back to China with my daughter, worked full-time to save money, and because of that, I missed job opportunities. Because all interviews back then were in person, it was before COVID. But eventually, I returned to the US with my daughter and finished my degree. But that was about half a year later than my peers. Here's the thing, at some point in our lives, we all have reasons to say, this isn't fair. But instead of waiting for the world to treat you right, channel your energy into what you can do to move forward. For example, 2 siblings can get different support from their parents. If you fixate on fairness, you only build resentment. But if you let it go, you build independence. In the workplace, if a coworker with fewer skills negotiates a higher salary, you can complain about fairness. Or you can learn negotiation and use it to your advantage next time. Success doesn't come from demanding fairness. It comes from moving forward despite unfairness. When you give up expecting life to be fair, you stop wasting energy and start solving problems. Second, sacrifice material possessions. Too much stuff doesn't just fill your home, it clusters your mind. For me, I wasn't really saving money. I was just choosing to spend it differently. Instead of buying more things, I invested in what I valued most, freedom. I earn money, then invest as much as I can. The money I invested kept working for me, even while I slept. That's what allowed me to become a self-made millionaire in my 30s and eventually quit my corporate job. I actually made a video on 6 passive income ideas to achieve financial freedom. Those are effortless wealth. I'll put a link in the description down below and you can check it out later. Those are ways to create long-term happiness rather than short-term pleasure. Think about it, 70% of lottery winners go broke within just a few years. Why? Because they spend on houses, cars, and lifestyle upgrades instead of learning how to manage and invest. When possessions fade, investments grow. This next one, stop breaking under pressure. When we learn to hold ourselves under pressure, we build emotional resilience. That means bouncing back from challenges, learning from them, and staying focused on the bigger goals. Years ago, one of my most reliable HR team members suddenly resigned. I was shocked. I thought everything was fine. Later, I found out from the CEO that she felt frustrated because I often ping her randomly for quick chats. I never realized it was bothering her, and she never told me. At first, I felt defensive, but then I asked myself, did I ever give her a real chance to share feedback? The truth was, no, she wasn't the type to speak up, and I hadn't created the space for her to do it. That experience changed how I managed. Ever since then, in my regular check-ins with my team, I started asking them how I could make their work easier and what I could do better. The feedback wasn't always easy to hear, but it helped me improve before problems got worse. Over time, trust grew stronger, and a few people even told me that I was the best HR leader they've ever worked with. That kind of fulfillment meant a lot to me. And actually, you can see resilience in every success story. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. Before Harry Potter became a global hit, she lost her mom, went through a divorce, raised her daughter alone, and got rejected by 12 publishers. But she didn't quit. She kept revising, kept submitting. That persistence turned her story into a worldwide phenomenon. And resilience doesn't just show up in big life events. It's in the small, everyday moments too. Say if you are stuck in traffic or have a delayed flight, you could get upset. Or you could use that time for reflection, a podcast, or planning. At work, if If you give a presentation and get tough feedback, you can either shut down or take notes, make changes, and come back stronger next time. When you stop being fragile under pressure, you stress less, your relationships improve, and you grow instead of getting stuck. Fourth, stop playing small. Earlier this year, I read a book called 10x is Easier Than 2x by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. One idea really stuck with me. Growing 2x means working harder and juggling more. But growing 10x, that means simplifying, focusing on your unique strength, and dropping the 80% of activities that don't really matter. It's about concentrating on what truly moves the needle and creating freedom for exponential growth. Look at Netflix in the early 2000s. They could have just kept improving DVD by mail, faster shipping, bigger libraries, better service. That would have been quote-unquote playing small, but they took a bold leap into streaming, even though it risked cannibalizing their DVD business. That move turned them into a global entertainment leader. Apple, Tesla, same story. They reinvented industries instead of playing safe. For individuals like you and me, this also applies. For example, if you play 2x, then you attend social gatherings with people you don't really connect with, just to be polite. But if you're playing 10x, you spend your time intentionally with mentors, mastermind groups, or friends who push you to grow. Or in work, instead of staying in the same corporate marketing job, working harder for small promotions, ask yourself, what is my unique ability? What do I love that also creates the most value? Take bold action. You can focus on a niche, like becoming a TikTok growth strategist. Within a year, brands could pay you 10x more than your old job. So instead of asking, how can I work harder to improve a little? Ask, what's the bold way that makes the old way irrelevant? The next one, stop waiting for permission. Too often, we hold ourselves back because we're waiting for someone else to say it's okay. The truth is, seeking permission slows you down, and sometimes you never take the step at all. For example, say you've been thinking about launching a small online business. If you seek permission, you wait for family, friends, or coworkers to give the green light, and you might never start. If you stop waiting, you launch something small. Test it, learn, and adjust as you grow. When you stop waiting for approval, you act faster, you learn from experience, and build momentum. You become the driver of your own life and career instead of letting others steer the wheel. And people naturally respect those who take initiative without waiting to be told what to do. The most successful people don't wait for a yes. They pay attention to feedback, but they don't let the lack of approval stop them from moving forward. 6. Quit unhealthy habits. Jim Rohn once said, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. And he's right. If you want to achieve anything in life, it all starts here. For me, that means 3 things: a healthy diet, a regular physical activity, and enough sleep. I learned this the hard way. A few years ago, I was working relentlessly and not sleeping enough. My immune system collapsed and a minor health issue turned serious. I went through several rounds of procedures and couldn't enjoy life. I've always known this in theory, but in that moment, it hit me for real. If I don't take care of myself, nothing else matters. Because here's the truth. Health isn't something you can bargain for. You can't hustle your way back to it. Even if you've got all the money in the whole world, you just can't buy it back. But so many entrepreneurs still push 16-hour days like they can outwork exhaustion. The reality? Burnout, poor decisions, and sometimes even business failure. It's not just working too much. Things like drinking, drugs, or other unhealthy habits can also derail your potential. We've all seen it. Talented athletes, gifted musicians, brilliant business people, careers full of promise, and then ruined by alcohol, drugs, or other destructive habits. What could have been decades of success disappeared in just a few years. No matter what your talents or opportunities, neglecting your health will sabotage long-term success. Take care of your body. Respect your limits. Your health is the foundation for everything else. Last but not the least, stop procrastinating. We all procrastinate sometimes. I know I did. For over 6 months earlier this year, I kept thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but nothing really happened. Zero progress and just excuses. Then one day, I faced the truth. I was the one holding myself back. Once I admitted it, everything changed. I built a system, a 7-step process that finally helped me break the cycle and take action. If you want to see exactly how I beat procrastination, check out the link here and I'll see you in that video.